to Backstage with Richard Ridge, the new musical comedy Huzzah, which features a book and score from Nell Benjamin and Laurence O'Keefe, the Tony-nominated duo behind the hit musical Legally Blonde, is having its world premiere at San Diego's Old Globe, playing now through October 19th. Please welcome my guests, Nell Benjamin and Laurence O'Keefe.
Thank you, Richard. It's nice
so
to be
much.
here.
Well, first of all, how are you two, and where are the two of you?
Great question. Today we're
We're fine. Thank you for
thank you.
asking. And right now we're in New York, but tomorrow we're heading back to San Diego to see the show again. We just can't get enough. We're actually bringing our daughter who didn't get to see opening night. So I'm very
Oh,
excited.
that is so great. So, first off, it's so great catching up with the two of you, and congratulations on your brand new musical, Huzzah! Exclamation
Huzzah!
point.
Huzzah!
I love that. It's like, hello, Dolly. It's like, how excited are the two of you?
We are super excited. It's been our dream. It's an original musical. We've been kicking it around for many, many years, and we're just thrilled that it's happening and happening at the Old Globe, which is such an amazing theater. And we have a fantastic cast and company, and our director, Annie Tipp, is brilliant. And it's just been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure.
And if you've ever been to the Old Globe in San Diego, you know that the decor matches a Ren Faire very well. There's lots of Tudor
Shakespeare
exposed beams, and it's just a wonderful. It feels like a fair just to walk onto that plaza and hang out in that environment.
And it's been fun too because we sort of we all went for it on the same. It's a musical comedy. I think the emphasis is on comedy on this one, and the score is gorgeous, but also everything's really funny, and everyone just seemed to have a good time doing it. So hopefully.
Okay, you mentioned Renaissance Faire, so please tell our audience what the musical is about.
Okay.
We like to say like that the too long don't read is it's King Lear with a happy ending. So, oh my God, spoilers. Sorry. It takes place, as you might have guessed, during a Renaissance Fair, a family-run Renaissance Fair.
Now, for those of you who may be wondering what that is, you might have heard that a Renaissance Fair is like a Disneyland for Lord of the Rings geeks, but it is much more than that. The quickest way to describe it is that a Ren Fair is a place where nerds are safe and sexy. And we have always felt very safe and sexy at Ren Fairs. We
are. We were proud,
big old
nerds. Yeah. And so this is a family-run fair, and it's sort of was founded by a man who has two daughters who are very different in personality, temperament, management style. One of them is sort of the dreamer who's stayed at the fair, and the other one has less patience with the dreamy wonderland and is always doing things like mopping up the taxes and doing the payroll and stuff. So these two sisters essentially inherit their fair from their father, and they have to work together to try desperately to keep it afloat. So that's the basic plot. And among the things they do is they hire the biggest jouster on the Ren Faire circuit, a gentleman named Sir Roland Proud. He lives every day like a knight of the Tudor court. He is unbeatable by sword or lance. He has to be paid in gold because he does not have a bank account. And he's such a draw to the Ren Faire that they're sure this is going to really turn things around for them.
He has a huge following, but he is not on social media at all. They physically follow him. And so these two sisters make a gamble that this guy will save their fair, and instead, a musical comedy ensues.
How did the two of you come up with this? Did you go to Renaissance Fairs growing up? Because I did.
We sure did.
Yeah, where was yours?
Yeah, where was yours?
It's the one upstate.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
of course.
I
Sure.
love that one. Yeah. And no, we went many years ago. Our first Renaissance Fair was actually in California.
Right outside LA. A couple of our Hollywood friends said, you have to go to this thing. It's called the Renaissance Fair. It's so stupid. You'll laugh your ass off. And we thought, oh, maybe we could make a TV show like The Office about people who have to work under dumb conditions. And we went there and nobody was dumb.
No, we were like, oh yeah, we found the people we want to hang out with. It's like just people who sort of were devoted to something, whether it's their costume or their craft or history or putting on a show.
People making things with their hands, live horses, live jousting.
A lot of the shows weren't, you didn't buy a ticket and then go in. You watched the show and then they asked you to pay them if you liked it. And that's pretty badass for people who are interested in theater.
Yeah.
So it was just this place where everybody was doing whatever weird obsession they had well, and everybody was open to it. And we said, this is where we want to spend our lives. So we spent a long time trying to turn it into a story, because you love the place, right? But you can't just be like, welcome to the Renaissance Fair. For that, they could go to the Renaissance Fair. So we built the story sort of around that. And part of the fun is that the community that we have on stage, the actors we have on stage, halfway through rehearsal process, we turned to each other, we're like, we want to go to this Renaissance Fair. Like, these people are awesome. And it's just been great.
Because I know a lot of people like Robin Herder, her husband Clyde Alves, and their son and their friends go to this every year. It's a big deal. They get all dressed up, and people have done this for years. I mean, there's a whole like Renaissance Fair subculture, right?
One of the most rewarding things about doing the show is that we have a lot of people who've come from Ren Fairs. We have a gentleman who owns a Ren Faire came. The Society for Creative Anachronism in San Diego branch came, and they all told us that they really thought that we did it well, that it looks recognizable to them. They love it. And it was very important to us that it not feel like making fun of the place. It's a fun place. It has a sense of humor about itself. And I think that shines through the same way theater people have a sense of humor about themselves, but we're really serious about what we do. And it's done with love, not
mockery.
Not mockery. Yeah.
Well,
We
you've
can
done
make a lot of things. We don't need to make fun of the Ren Faire.
Well, you've done a really good job, because the reviews have all been incredible for your show. I mean, people are flying in from everywhere to go and see this at the Old Globe. And like you said, there are people who go to the Ren Fair, like, oh my God, there's a musical about this now, and everyone's going and enjoying it. And like you said, the Old Globe, you couldn't have picked a better theater or a more perfect theater.
Yeah.
They're fabulous. They're so dedicated to the old arts. They're so dedicated to the literature and to the Shakespeare of it. And so there's a lot of love for Shakespeare in this show. There's a lot of love for Renaissance music in it. And it was a very receptive place. I mean, the Old Globe is an incredibly special repertory company, and they've been working with us for years. We originally met with them in 2019 when the brilliant Barry Edelstein heard about it, and we were summoned to his office, and he said, I like this, and maybe we'll do this. And we said, that's wonderful. And he said, great. How about August 2020?
We're like,
and we
yes,
said, yes.
definitely.
And he said, well, if we can't make it by August 2020, certainly it'll be 21. And, events conspired against that, but they were patient. They were so wonderful, and they hung in there.
One of Shakespeare's biggest, most creative periods was during plague years. So we feel like that we spend our time working on it. And
I was not creative during the plague years myself,
Yes,
but you were.
No, we both were. Journal of the Plague Year. So yeah, the audience knows Shakespeare, gets all the really bad Shakespeare puns and the fun jokes and stuff. And it's a perfect audience, and it's a perfect place. And oh my gosh, the people that we have designing and building stuff, like they would come, and they're like, yeah, did I get this piece of nerdery right? And we have, no, I can't give it away. It's too much of a spoiler to give it away.
Well, just suffice it to say that one of the props designers was very delighted at the Star Wars reference we made.
Yes.
And spent a ton of time getting the Star Wars reference accurate.
And it's really fun to be in a conversation like that with someone's like, I want to get it perfect. And I was like, you will, because you want to. And that's what we want to. So
that's great. What I love about the two of you, of course, you're married and you collaborate together and write the book. But spoiler alert, book, music, and lyrics. So what comes first? Does it vary? Do you start with a storyline first? It takes you into a song? Do you work on character first? I'm just fascinated by collaborators that write book, music, and lyrics.
I think you nailed it. It's generally story first for us, for the kind of songs
we go looking for stories that are capers or battles or heists or colossal armies clashing. And so we go looking for stories that have a ton of conflict, but a lot of theatricality and silliness too. And so that helps to create the scenes in the first place. And then you have lots of scenes of disagreements, and then negotiations as people try to get out of their disagreements. And some songwriting teams love to go for great big doses of emotion, which I'm not that great at. But we are
Deeply suspicious.
We're suspicious, yeah,
Human emotion.
of emotion. But we do like songs about transactions and negotiations and people trying
and
to
decisions,
yeah, and people trying to fight or argue or cajole, seduce, threaten, or bargain their way out of a sticky situation. And for some reason, we love writing songs about that.
Or working out a problem in your head too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how am I going to deal with this? That's
Yeah.
always fun. So it's finding the moment in the plot first, and then saying, okay, what words stand for this moment? What is a good lyric? What would the thought process be? If I'm thinking, how do I get from A to B, or A has happened to me, what do I B do about it? We think there first, and then certain phrases just kind of suggest themselves, the same way when you're thinking through a problem in your own head. And so we try and use those, and then we try and put a joke in there, or maybe two, maybe three. And then we're very back and forth. Like, you'll do a draft and give it to me, I'll do a draft and give it to you. We mess with each other's work a lot. Then there's fighting. Then there's one-upmanship. We're extremely competitive. Very upset when he does a lyric better than I do, and then I have to take it away and try and beat it. And then from this comes some kind of lyric, and I don't know. I think we just meddle with each other as much as possible.
One trade secret we don't often talk about. Yeah, one trade secret we don't often discuss. We like to have songs start with a surprise for somebody, and it's usually an unpleasant surprise where somebody on stage just finds out in that moment, oh, my great plan is dashed, or, oh, that person didn't like me like I thought. And then we like to end the song with a different surprise, which hopefully is a big enough, shock that it will help the audience feel, okay, the song's ending well. Thank you for the extra surprises, and now applause. But yeah, maybe our songs begin often with unpleasant surprises and hopefully end with better ones. Not for everybody. There's, a couple of people who lose out big in this show, but there's a couple of winners in this show. We also we're pleased to report that this is one of our few shows where nobody dies.
Spoilers.
Well, I mean, your musical comedy about your Ren Faire, you don't want a stage littered with bodies like Hamlet. We would have to call it a musical tragedy.
Oh, you're right. We couldn't call
Yes,
it at all.
the most sad history, i.e.
We're doing a history musical. Oh, let's do that next.
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
See, right here, BroadwayWorld.
Right here, BroadwayWorld.
For
Best
these
ideas.
two. But then tonally for the music, like you have the lyric and everything else, just music sometime enter and say, oh my gosh, what we're writing right now sounds like this could be a great part of this part of the show, or could lead to this, or I'm just fascinated by that.
Well, thank you. We've also, again, a trade secret, maybe we should not give them out, but we're wordy people, but we began to notice that if you can say a phrase that's 10 syllables, that's hard to write a melody for. But if you can squeeze those 10 syllables into 4 syllables, those 4 syllables sometimes suggest a better melody, or a simpler melody, or a more soaring melody. So a lot of our work is trying to shave off syllables. And that's when speech begins to feel more like singing. And so I guess it's sort of the same thing, that our songs begin with surprises and transactions. And how do you make a transaction soar? The answer is not always. You can't. Sometimes it's got a different energy. I mean,
I love one of the things that Larry does better than anybody, and it's amazing, is that he can take a phrase and it can be sung exactly the way you would say it, but it's sung in an incredible melody. And I find that just amazing. The simplest version of that is how when you ask a question, do you go up? Yes, you go up. So if the tune goes down, you don't have something that sounds like a question. Or when someone's being cagey, they speak in different rhythms than when they're being honest and open. And your ability to write a tune, all right, yes, I'm going to compliment you. Just take it. Just sit there and take it. His ability to make that singable, and not just singable, but memorably so, with these incredible tunes.
Right. Well, thank you. But I mean, like half of that is you, because the lyric often shows up with that melody implicit in it, and you fix my melodies and improve them. So we're in each other's business.
Because I'm competitive, so
nonstop.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying,
sure.
and I learn.
Yeah.
I learn, and I take it.
See, I love that. Being married. Now, how old is your daughter?
She's 12. She's about to be
good.
13.
Okay. So how old was she when she realized what the two of you do?
I don't think she realizes
She
yet.
may not completely
She thinks we
understand.
probably, she thinks we just
She's like,
loaf around.
This is what
Yeah.
you do?
We just sort of laze around and lean on a piano.
No, I think that's fascinating. 'Cause I've spoken to a lot
No,
of.
she actually, we joke about it, but she's an incredible editor. She's got a very logical brain.
She's caught us in some logical problems already.
Yes, and at one point she did it in one of the first read-throughs of the show that we had with the new director.
In front of the whole cast.
Like, so, and Annie Tipp is an incredibly collaborative director, and so after we first sort of read it through with some actors around a table in a rehearsal room at Open Jar or something, she's like, right, does anybody have anything they noticed that they want to share? And the actors were sort of very quiet, and my daughter's hand went up. And she was only there because we didn't have babysitting. And so, and he's looking at me like, should I take this question? I'm like, I guess. And so she's like, yes. Here on page 6, you've said that I was just here, which is confusing because the character said previously she hasn't been here for 10 years, and that's logically. And I was like, you're right, that is confusing. We'll fix that. She's like, because she hasn't been here for 10 years, right? I was like, that's correct. She's like, but she says this was wrong. I'm like, yes, all right. Thank you.
That's great to have that, though. Seriously, I was saying, is she going to go into the family business? I think she may go into the family business, right?
It could be. She definitely has the soul of an artistic director, which is that's a compliment. That's not a bad thing.
Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's more organized than we are.
True.
You mentioned your director, Annie Tipp. What's it been like working with her on this?
She's
delightful.
It is glorious. There is this millennial or Gen Z thing, which we sometimes gently mock her for. Because the first time she had a script conference with us, and she clearly had an issue with a logic problem or a line or something, and she said, I have an offering. And both of us, sort of grizzled theater folks, were like
an offering.
We're like,
a note? You mean like
you could say problem, you could say issue. But the thing is, but we've come to love it because if you have an offering, it could be a nice offering. If you say, I have a problem, I have an issue, I have a concern, you're already getting a backup from your authors. But she says she has an offering, which also means you don't have to take my offering. You can gently refuse my offering. And so,
but we don't. Now, not only do we not refuse her offerings because they tend to be brilliant, but we also say to each other, I have an offering.
I have an offering.
And it's made things so much more pleasant. No, she's brilliant. She has great vision. She is collaborative within the vision. Like she can keep things moving forward while still leaving an enormous amount of space to work and play and have dialogue. And she's also super organized. I mean, spreadsheets for days. She knew all the costume changes before we even had the costumes. It was incredible. And we're very privileged to work with her.
And what an incredible cast you've assembled for this production, too. I mean, please say something about your wonderful cast who have all received incredible reviews, too.
Oh, my God.
They're fantastic. We are sort of, our two sisters, Lisi LaFontaine is playing Gwen and Kaylin Fu is playing Kate. They are just magnificent. Hopefully you'll see a clip of them singing a song later. They, not just the voices, the talent, the comedy. We are reunited with people like Kate Schindel and Kevin Pariseau. We have Josh Breckenridge. Mike Milan. I could just name them all. They're fantastic. Matt De Silva.
Silva plays Troubadour Tim, and you'd think that we wouldn't like his page boy haircut, but it's incredibly
It's a winner.
perfect. It's perfect.
And actually, his wife, Beth Laird, is also
Yes.
in our company, and she's phenomenal. Aaron Michael Ray, Michael Cusimano. I just want to say all the
Allison
names.
Gwynn.
Allison, oh my gosh, she's like a comic genius.
And of course, the unstoppable Peyton Krim. There's some people we never knew anything about, and they just came in. They either auditioned over video and cracked us up, or they came in for the first time and just walked away with it. The amazing Anthony Chapman,
Oh my gosh.
as Gareth. Oh, we're incredibly lucky to have an entire Ren Faire's worth of, comedy assassins just doing an incredible job.
And Leo Roberts, who's playing Sir Roland
Yes.
Proud, not only has to be funny and act well and sing, he has to sword fight while doing it. So we have not been easy on any of these people. They have to deliver comedy, they have to move furniture, they have to interact with the audience. And each one brings something fantastic and special. And Penny and Lance. I just want to say all their names. I'm so sorry.
Did we mention Michelle Lauto?
Oh, Michelle
my
Lauto.
God.
She plays kind of our daughter's favorite character, which is the Wolf Walker.
Yeah.
So,
Also, so because of the way theater works, there's always somebody who has to sick out, or there's an issue and somebody has to go on. We've had incredible understudies, like world-class Star is Born understudies go on as well. And so whoever you go see in this cast in these next couple weekends, you're going to have an incredible time.
yeah.
So thanks, understudies.
Well, I love that you mentioned all of them. And if you haven't mentioned everyone, just go to the oldglobe.org, seriously, and you can look at the incredible cast, and you've got to read the reviews this show has received already, because it's just amazing. And it's so wonderful. You two write new musicals. I mean, you've all written Legally Blonde, Mean Girls, Heathers. I mean, what do you enjoy the most about writing for the theater, the two of you? Because you've both done it together, you've done it separately.
Most people think of a community as a long-term project, but for one night, you build a community in a theater. Everybody's there to kind of find a connection and hear what you have to say, but also give back. They're the last collaborator. The audience is the last collaborator. And when they laugh, when they applaud, when they even when they fidget, you are learning a little bit about how effective your message is. And it's, previews are fun for that reason. You're sort of like, are we getting it? Every preview that we had where someone who actually has been to a Renaissance Fair or owns a Renaissance Fair has been there and was like, you got it, you nailed it. Yes. And I don't know, I think it's magical to get in a room with people who are excited to be there and give, sorry. It's magical to be in sort of a temporary community and hear something about community, because our show is very much about how you make a society. Because one of the things about the Ren Faire is, we mentioned earlier, it's everybody has their own little weird enthusiasms. Everybody wants to do their own thing. And that's society, right? Everybody wants the freedom to do their own thing. But the question is, how do you do that together? How do you do that as a society? And the very question that we ask in Huzzah is, what's happening every night? We're making a little temporary nightly society between the audience and the company. And it's incredible.
That is beautifully put. Being married again, you're sitting at home at dinner with your daughter, and since you work together, you're like, oh my gosh, do things come up to you like during dinner or during a meal, like, oh my gosh, I just thought of something we should add into the show, but like when you were writing this or whatever? Does that come up at the dinner table, or do you leave your work at the office, or is it 24/7?
24/7.
Yeah.
Like waking up at 3 a.m. Oh my God, wait, I've got the second act closer. It's just,
Over the years, you learn, for example, if you have a breakthrough and you realize, oh my gosh, I found this amazing duet for the end of Act 1. It's called The Stowaway. Don't wake up your wife at 1:30 a.m. and expect her to like your lyric. She's not gonna.
Or just all the lights go on and we're like, all right, we're in it. Let's fix it. Let's get it where it needs to be. And then the school drop off the next day is exhausting. But yeah, I think we love what we do. We feel really grateful and privileged that there's an audience for what we do and that there's people like the Old Globe, people like No Guarantees, people like this company of actors and designers and Annie, who will take a risk on us.
And the amazing Katie Spellman, our wonderful
Oh my gosh,
choreographer,
yes.
who makes these amazing pictures out of our silliest, stupidest ideas and is willing to try.
And we'll be like, is this
strangest,
too ridiculous? And she's like, don't ever say that. And so it's wonderful. Anyway, the point being that we're very grateful that we get to do this. So we want to do it 24/7 until it's right.
That's beautiful. I have to give a big shout out, Laurence. Your iconic musical, Bat Boy, is coming to New York City this month. How exciting is that?
This is not a Bat Boy logo, but it seems appropriate. I may wear it to rehearsals. Oh my gosh. Thank you for calling it iconic, but we're working on it. It's getting there.
Oh no, I remember being there when your show first opened downtown. Everybody, I know so many people who are like, oh my God, I've listened to the cast album. I'm like, I can't believe it's coming to City Center. I get to see something that I wasn't old enough to see or whatever. And I'm like, what a cast, the creative team. You're going to run from October 29th to November 9th. How excited are you?
It's mind-blowing. I've only recently figured out how to articulate it, because we did it long ago and published it long ago and let it go long ago, but it keeps coming back in various workshop rewrite situations, and now it's getting such a great sort of reintroduction to New York. And I've just realized it's kind of like a lifelong dream I didn't know I was having. So I just woke up and went, wow, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It is not a dream. It's really happening. And so hopefully we'll see you in the next couple of weeks.
It's a good year.
Oh, damn, it's a good year. Well,
this is a great year, seriously, for you and for so many people. But you have your gorgeous musical Huzzah playing at the Old Globe. Bat Boy is going to be here in New York. I mean, it's just, there's nothing better than the theater. And I know something very special is happening at Broadway World right now. You're giving us an exclusive. And why don't you set it up? Is the number called Dragons?
Yes, called Dragons.
So why don't you tell us? Yeah.
So the song is the two sisters whose father is King Lear, like passing them the Renaissance Faire.
He has just saddled them with half ownership each of the fair, which is the last thing either of them wanted. Gwen, the older, more sober-minded sister, didn't want anything to do with the fair and has been trying to extricate herself for years. Meanwhile, Kate, the younger sister, is a passionate dreamer and occasional rage monster, and she didn't want to have to run it with a partner. She thought she would inherit the whole thing.
Because she had been there the whole time. So the tricky part about the fair is that it's been kind of stumbling along with dreamy, but perhaps not very good follow-through management. And Gwen suddenly sees the opportunity. We've been taking responsibility for the fair. We've been fixing our father's mistakes. We've been sort of just running along. But what if we could actually run it? What if we could rule it? And so the two sisters kind of realized for the first time that instead of just having all the responsibility, they could maybe have the power. And because they are fantasy nerds, as are we, they have a very specific way of expressing what being in power would be like.
Well, I cannot wait. I want to say goodbye to the two of you first and let you know that I adore both of you. I have from the very beginning of watching your careers just rise separately and rise together. The best of luck to Huzzah at Old Globe, which everybody has until, when is October 9th?
October 19th, yeah.
Yep.
And then Bat Boy will be in New York. So everybody here at Broadway World is an exclusive number from Huzzah called Dragons. Enjoy, and we'll see everybody at the theater. Take
Huzzah!
care.
Ah!
What? Why did you do that?
This was Dad's kingdom. We worked while he'd play. We mopped up his messes. But that could end today. 'Cause now we're inheriting. Think what that means. We don't need a king. 'Cause now we can be
Dragons.
What?
We can be dragons.
I don't know what that means. Okay, yes, we're going with dragons. Okay. Look, we have made magic. We have played songs. We never had power to right all these wrongs. And so
I could be a dragon.
a dragon sparks legends wherever she lands. Men quake at her shadow and obey her demands. Men don't respect a princess and they won't bow to me. But they won't need a king when they see how cool two dragons can be.
Two dragons.
Yes, 'cause deep down what do we desire?
To stomp haters flat, breathing fire.
Sure, one dragon's fine on her own, but two dragons can claim a throne. So we'll inspire and enlighten. We'll be noble and bold, and we'll sleep every night in a big pot of gold. And no king will tell us what we can or can't do, and we'll rule with iron claw, 'cause we're the mother effing dragons.
Ooh, I'll be red dragon, I spit fireballs.
Red sounds kind of chaotic, evil.
Maybe you're green, 'cause you spit envy.
No, I'm purple. I shoot pure lightning.
No, you're more white dragon, you're the ice queen.
Well, maybe you're yellow 'cause you're so pissy.
Well, you're a big bossy ring lizard.
I am purple!